everybody, Chef Charmaine. How you doing? Welcome to my channel, Plant-Based, Not Boring. I'm a vegan chef, a restaurant owner, and a plant-based transition guide. In my channel, I will show you tips, tricks, and techniques to help you live your best life in your plant-based journey. Today's recipe is going to be Thai red curry sweet potato soup. It's a great combination of sweet and sour, got sweet potatoes, red onions, lime, mushrooms, coconut milk. Great opportunity for a lot of different flavors. So let's get started. Alright, so we are going to chop up our sweet potato into cubes so it'll be easier to cook. Also going to leave the skin on the sweet potato. Skin has a lot of nutrients and it will cook down into the soup and help to thicken the soup. So we're going to cut the sweet potato into slabs, so to speak, and then we're going to cut each one into cubes. We're going to do this until the sweet potato is entirely chopped up. And we want to keep them in pretty much the same size so that they cook at the same rate. And as I said, you don't need to peel your sweet potato, because we are going to maintain the skin. The skin has a lot of great nutrients, adds a lot of good flavor. And the cubes don't all have to be perfectly the same size. It is a soup, and they will cook down. But we're just going to cut the sweet potato in half and half again, and let's chop it up into equal sized cubes. Pretty much, if you get a cube that's a little bit bigger than the others, just turn it over. It's not a big deal. It's not about the technique. The sweet potato will cook down and soften in about 20 minutes, so they won't even be this size. But you're basically cutting up your sweet potatoes so that they are pretty much equal in size. So we've got our sweet potatoes. We've got a half a cup of mushrooms. These are baby bella. You could use cremini. You can chop up a portabello. Shiitake might cook a little bit quicker. Baby bella are nice and meaty. All mushrooms are meaty in general, but I like the texture of baby bella. You have a half a cup of yellow and red chopped up peppers, a half a cup of diced yellow onion, 3 tablespoons of garlic. I like garlic. You can use more or less. And then 1 tablespoon of Thai red chili paste. And 1 can of coconut milk. All right, so we have our pot at a large soup pot, heated with about 3 tablespoons of water. We're going to add the garlic, which is 3 tablespoons, more or less, depending on how much you like garlic. The sweet potatoes that we've chopped up previously. So it's 1 large sweet potato with the skin on, scrubbed and chopped. and an onion chopped. Now, I like to grate my ginger into my recipes. Helps to keep it, you don't have big chunks of ginger, and I find that it really helps to really distribute the ginger really well in a recipe. You could use ginger powder. If you don't have fresh ginger, that's fine too. If you use ginger powder, it would be about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon, but it's also something that you can adjust. So you can start off with a half a teaspoon, and then as the soup starts to boil and simmer and cook down, you can decide if you want to add more. So this is like a 1-inch piece of ginger. And I put my ginger in the freezer, and then when I'm ready to have some ginger, I usually just cut off a piece and grate it in. That's the grated ginger. It smells really great in here already, and we haven't even added the Thai chili paste. So we've got our ginger, our sweet potatoes, our onion, and our water. And we're going to saute this for about 5 minutes or so. The sweet potatoes are a little bit softened. And we get the garlic and the ginger and the onion a chance to cook and the flavors to meld. So that will take about 5 minutes or so that the sweet potatoes are a little bit sweetened, a little bit softened. They're not going to be totally soft because it's only 5 minutes. It takes about 20 minutes for them to cook down in their entirety. But this is just to get the soup started. And that takes about 5 minutes. And when it starts to soften, I'll come back and we'll put in the rest of the ingredients. Alright, it's been about 5 or so minutes. The water that we added in the beginning has evaporated. The potatoes are a little sweetened, a little softened. So now it's time to add the red curry paste. It's a tablespoon. It's a tablespoon for about, this recipe is for about 2 people, 2 servings. You could double it and it would be 2 tablespoons of red curry paste or more, depending on how much you like spice. So we put in the curry and the peppers, and we just sweat that down for a few minutes, 2-3 minutes, just until you start to smell the red curry paste. You'll start to smell it. It takes a couple of minutes, really fragrant. I love red curry paste because it's full of chilies. And chilies are really great for the body. They help to make you sweat, which helps to release toxins from the body. And Thai foods, Thai red curry paste, chilies, hot pepper, chili peppers, if your body can handle it, are very good. Besides the fact that they taste wonderful, they have a really great healthy benefit in helping us to release toxins from our body by our body heating up and toxins being released through sweat. So I'm smelling, if you could smell this ginger and onion and red curry and sweet potato. Oh, it smells so, so good. So now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to add, you can do vegetable broth if you prefer, but I'm going to be using water instead of broth in this recipe today. You could make your own broth. It could be, I would recommend only vegetable. Maybe a mushroom broth might be good. And if you're eating beyond plant-based, probably a chicken broth might work. But I'm using water, and I would recommend vegetable broth if you're using broth. So this is 2 cups of water, and this is 1 can of coconut milk. Here's our mushrooms. And we're going to add 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. And then that concoction is going to bring to a boil and then simmer for about 15 minutes. And then we'll add the rest of our ingredients, the peas, the cilantro, the scallions, the lime. But right now, I'm going to taste the broth and see if it needs anything. Now you notice this recipe didn't have any salt. Didn't really need any salt because you've got the lime, you've got the creaminess of the coconut, the heat of the peppers, a lot of great flavors going on in here, and didn't even miss the salt. And when you make it yourself, I hope that you'll agree that the salt wasn't missed. So this is on high. I'm going to bring it to boil. It'll take, depending on your pot and your stove, maybe 3 to 5 minutes to boil. As soon as it has boiled, you reduce it down to simmer. You simmer it with no lid. Just leave it uncovered, simmering for about 10 to 15 minutes, and you'll know that it's ready when your sweet potatoes are totally soft. And then once that happens, then we'll add in the peas and the other ingredients. Alright, it's been a few minutes and the soup, as you can see, is boiling. It has come to a boil. So now to the next step is to reduce the heat to about medium low. Also depending on your stove, the heat, whether you're using electric or gas, but you want it to simmer. So you see these big bubbles? That's boil. You don't want it to be boil. You don't want that temperature, the soup to be that temperature. You want it to be simmering, which is just bubbles right around the end, right around the edge of the pot. It's a little bit of bubbles. These right here, that's a simmer. So it'll come down to temp in about, take about 2-3 minutes for the soup to, you lower your temperature, bring it down to simmer. The boiling will stop. It will go into simmer phase and take that about 10 to 15 minutes, and then the soup will be done. You'll know when the simmering is finished when your potatoes are soft, when your sweet potatoes are soft. So as I said, it's going to take about 10-15 minutes or so, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. So bring your temperature down to medium low, If you have to take it lower, you'll know, because you don't want it boiling. Right now, as you can see, it's still boiling. We don't want that. Eventually, the temperature in the pot will decrease and it'll start to simmer. So I'm turning mine down to low as well, so that it's not boiling. In the meantime, it smells really, really great in here. And it'll be just about maybe 10, 12, 15 minutes or so before we can eat. As I said, a really quick one-pot meal. You could put this on, go around, do other things. Doesn't really need a lot of babying. You could just stir it up every now and again. Come back. By the time you move on to another task that you had to do at home, your Thai curry sweet potato soup will be done. So we'll be back after the simmer phase is over and the sweet potatoes are softened. So I'm testing my soup to see if my sweet potatoes are ready and softened. And I just want to show you my experience. So there's a resistance. I mean, it goes into the fork, goes into the sweet potato, but it's fighting me a bit. It's not, it should just go straight through. So that's how you know it's not quite ready yet. Needs a few more minutes. Just be patient and give it a little bit more time. Maybe raise your heat just a little bit more depending on how long it's been for you at this point. I've turned mine down. It was boiling a little bit, so I had to check it and reduce the heat. But your potatoes are not ready yet. So test the potatoes before you move on to the next step to make sure that your potatoes are fork tender before we put in the other ingredients, because that's pretty much the last thing. Once the potatoes are ready, the peas and the onions and everything else just goes in like 2-3 minutes and the soup is practically done. So go ahead and test your potatoes. If they are not soft yet, give it a little bit more time. Alright, we're going to test and see if it's time to finish up. I'm going to take one of the sweet potatoes and no resistance. See, it just goes straight through. That's how you know that it's ready for the next step. Alright, so we're going to add our 1/2 cup of peas, a 1/2 cup of sliced red onion, thinly sliced red onion, juice of 1 lime, and then we just let that get to know each other a little bit, just for about 2 minutes or so, just to heat everything through, and then we are done. We're going to add a little cilantro and scallion for a topping at the end when we plate. But there we go. That is our Thai red curry sweet potato soup. So I'm getting ready to plate. All right, so here is our bowl of Thai red curry sweet potato soup. It's topped with red onions, scallions, cilantro. It's got some lime. Let's give it a taste. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you get the pop of the lime, get the sweetness, and the soft sweet potato. You got the juicy mushrooms, the cilantro, sweetness of the sweet potato, the tartness of the lime, the juiciness of the mushroom, and all of those flavors combined with the creaminess of the coconut milk. Oh, it's so delicious. And it's also scallions and the herbs and spices in here really give you a really great experience of flavors and textures, which is important when you're eating plant-based and you want to make sure that it's not boring. So I recommend making this Thai red curry sweet potato soup. Please like and comment, and until the next time, be well.